Welcome back, everyone. I am Matt Wallace, and thank you for taking a few minutes out of your day to come hang out with me here, not in my lonely little writerly sanctum. We are not in my writer's room. We're still on the road, which I will get to in a second. Me Not Be Naked on the Vlog is brought to you by our t-shirt of the day, which is Captain America and Iron Man, which is obviously a slash fiction t-shirt, and I won't hear any differently from anyone out there. I mean, look at that. Come on. Come on. Anyway, so yeah, we are November 20th, 2017. That is Hamshackle Pig holding a little V for Victory flag, and that is supposed to be a neon 200 sign. Neon sign that says 200. I'll get to the neon part in a second. But first and foremost, as of today, we have surpassed 200 subscribers here on my Angry Writer channel, which hosts this vlog, and that is just, I've only been doing this for a few weeks, and I just cannot tell you how much, how happy that makes me and how appreciative I am of everybody out there who's been subscribing and watching and tweeting Team Hamshackle and doing Hamshackle art and leaving comments and just responding well to the daily vlog. I really appreciate it. They say your first 100 and your first 1,000 subscribers are the most difficult. We blew past 100 really quickly. But I'm happy to get to 200. I hope 200 turns into 200,000. I honestly do. And I think we can get there just based off the core audience out there, you folks who are already taking really kindly to this whole thing I'm doing. I really appreciate it. Anyway, it's Monday. I have no voice left, but it's Monday. You've rebooted. You've got a chance to do it all over again, better than you did it last week. This weekend was so bananas, and I'm exhausted, and I have no voice left, and I haven't shaved, but and I want to tell you all about it, but I'm just so freaking tired. I got married on Saturday. Nikki and I, we had our inclusive ceremony where we invited people who weren't just in our immediate family to come out and be part of us, celebrating this whole marriage thing that we already did on October 22nd. But this was our big grand coming out ceremony. So yeah, and it was fantastic. We had a lot of my agent. Let's check this shit out. So my agent Donglin Song came. He made me this awesome cutting board, and he carved our anniversary and our initials into it. He made that by hand. Donglin made this because he woodworks in addition to being a rock star literary agent, and he made this beautiful thing for us by hand. My friends John and Laura, they got me John Smar and Laura Burns. They got me and Nikki. This is a hand-forged blade that was hand-forged in Finland by the descendants of Vikings. And that's legit. They brought that all the way back from Finland for us as a wedding gift. Marguerite Kenner and Alistair Stewart, who run Escape Artists, which hosts the Escape Artists family of podcasts, Escape Pod, Pseudopod, Cast of Wonders, Mothership Zeta, Podcastle, just the single best outfit in short genre fiction. I credit them for bringing it back hardcore. They run all these professional markets for short stories, fantastic authors, fantastic narrators. They pay everybody a fair wage. They feature fantastic work of all these different genres. I love them to death. I've been friends with them for years. And Marguerite cross-stitched this. If you're a fan of the Ditch Diggers podcast that I do with Mer Lafferty, this is a thing we often say, use the goddamn Twitters, people. So she made us that and put it in this little magnetic frame. That's very cool. But yeah, so it was amazing. The wedding was very cool. I entered at the ceremony to Shinsuke Nakamura's Rising Sun theme from WWE, which was really cool. I love that song. Nikki entered to the Princess Bride theme, which is, that's our cousins did that, and we just thought it was so cool we stole it. But yeah, it was amazing. John Smar, who gave me this blade, he was the officiant. Edward Earl Newton of the How to ADHD YouTube channel. He and his wife Jessica was, of course, the creator and the face of the How to ADHD channel. They came, and he was my best man. And Alistair wore a kilt and gave a really good reading for the I Ching, and it was just a fantastic ceremony. So that was really cool. And on Sunday, as if that weren't enough, we got to watch Mer Lafferty, my Ditch Diggers podcast co-host, and her husband Jim renew their vows. They've been married 19 years and 19 days, and I think it was actually almost 19 hours because symmetry is its own reward. We got to watch them renew their vows at an Elvis chapel by an Elvis impersonator, and it was just freaking hilarious, man. It was hilarious and also touching at the same time. They have an amazing 15-year-old daughter who I've gotten to watch grow up and become this awesome person, and they wrote their own vows and exchanged them, and it was just beautiful, and I felt privileged to be a part of it. And then we went to Morimoto, Las Vegas, and had sushi, and it's the best sushi in the country, I'm convinced. So yeah, just so many people, so much love, so many cool experiences. We got Nikki and I actually had our ceremony here at the Neon Graveyard, which is the museum that preserves and restores and displays the old neon signs from around Las Vegas. And we chose the venue because it's actually one of my favorite museums in the entire country. And when I tell people that, it always like surprises them because I mean it. I mean, and I've been to New York, I've been to the Met, I've been to LACMA in LA, I've seen some museums. But I love the Neon Museum so much because it's such a uniquely American art form, and it's also, as a freelance writer, as a freelance creator, it's neon is like such an intersection of commercial art and just pure artistry. Like, it's both of those things. It's an intersection of art and pop culture and design and engineering and science and history and just all this really cool stuff, and it's often radically overlooked by people. But it's just, and as a freelancer, I appreciate that because all those neon signs were made to be disposable. That's why the Neon Museum was created, because all these old signs were just being chucked out after they were done using them, and no one was preserving them. They were considered trash. And someone was like, wait a minute, these are amazing works of art. We should probably be preserving. So they created this thing called the Neon Museum, and where they set up all the signs and they do tours and take you through the whole history of them. At night, they light them all up again. It's such a unique and amazing experience, and it's one of my favorite places. So that's the venue we chose for the ceremony. But it got me thinking about how those neon signs and how the work that a lot of freelance creators do to this day are sort of bastardized and neglected and dismissed by both the artistic community and the industrial and commercial community. You know what I mean? It's like these things were created for a commercial purpose. So they're dismissed by the legitimate art community, as being kind of this sellout, disposable advertisement kind of thing that isn't recognized. And then the people who were paying to have these signs made were business people who don't give a shit about art, so it was nothing to them. And they just fall into this really nebulous category, which is where a lot of the work that freelancers do end up, which is really a shame, because in the course of trying to support ourselves and pay for our lives, we create some amazing things for people who don't always appreciate them, and for audiences that don't often appreciate them, that are dismissed by people, other writers and other artists and other designers, because they're works that are commissioned for a commercial purpose. And it's really fucked up. I mean, it's like you go to the Neon Museum and they have the giant Moulin Rouge sign, the giant neon letters that form the Moulin Rouge sign, which was the first integrated nightclub in Las Vegas. And they tell you the story of the Moulin Rouge and how all the artists of color who would perform here in the 50s and 60s, they would perform at all the casinos, but they weren't allowed to hang out in the casinos afterwards because of racism. So they would all head over to the Moulin Rouge after they were done with their shows. So of course, all the white singers and performers wanted to go hang out with their friends and with the cool people. So they went to the Moulin Rouge after hours, and they would do these amazing like breakfast shows that were just jam sessions, and just like so much important, legitimate, needed history there, in addition to just the pure artistry of it. And a lot of people just overlook that. I'm not very cogent today. I probably shouldn't have tried to make a point to this vlog. I should have probably filled you in on what was going on. But that's something that I was thinking about that I thought might be relatable, so I wanted to bring that up to everybody. But it was an amazing ceremony and an amazing place, and afterwards we went to Pamplemousse, which is a French restaurant here in Vegas. It's been around forever. It's one of our favorite restaurants in the country. They did an amazing job. If you were ever going to have a wedding in Las Vegas, I insist you have the reception at Pamplemousse. I insist. 5 courses of classic French cuisine, served by the most dedicated, jovial, just uniquely quirky cast of characters you've ever met in your life. It was amazing. They made the day amazing. I want to thank everybody at Pamplemousse for that. Everybody at the Neon Museum. I don't want to talk anymore because I'm exhausted. But again, so that was my weekend. We're still having it. I'm going to be back home tomorrow in my writer's room, back at the grind, because I'm actually really hyped up. Like I said, my agent came to the ceremony. We were talking at the reception, and just I got really fired up for 2018 because we're working on so many cool things. So I'm actually excited to get back home and get back to work. Although I'm enjoying my time here with my wife Nikki and and the respite that we've had. But anyway, so yeah, I will be back in my writer's room tomorrow. In the meantime, thank you for helping us reach our first 200 subscribers here on Ham Shackle. Let's get to 300 and let's keep going. Hashtag Team Ham Shackle. And I really appreciate y'all out there. I'm Matt Wallace, and I will see you tomorrow.